First and foremost, I give honor to Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I thank Him for allowing me to be able to come to you to share with you my son's recital. Before he begins, I would like to give you a little history about my son's status. My son is a very quiet, I won't say quiet, a very reserved young man. I discovered years ago that my son suffers from autism. He has symptoms of autism, and this was brought on due to me being very overly protective of my son and trying to um, avoid my son having to go through a lot of the issues that I endured as a child. I didn't realize the effect that will take place with me removing my son from other children. Um, I was told in a meeting in District 189 that my son appears to be a child that has autism. And due to me being aware of the term autism, I took that very negatively, and I felt that they were they didn't know my son because I was focusing in on my son's academic abilities. However, years later, I had decided to take some college courses, and my um, um, major then was to get an associate's degree uh, in daycare, and to later obtain a master's degree to become a school teacher, to be able to help other children so that they wouldn't have to endure what my son endured in the school system. Upon me taking these classes, I had to do a report in one of my classes, and my topic was to choose the subject autism. And upon me doing research regarding autism, I discovered that my son had a lot of the symptoms that one who was diagnosed with autism had. And I'm thankful today that I did do that. However, due to a lot of the things that I was enduring, I neglected um, my son's need to get help in this area. And I have asked my son's forgiveness for this. However, I'm making a declaration to make sure that I get on top of trying to get my son the necessary help so that he can one day be a positive force in the world, to be a upright, standing man of God, a uh, a husband, but first do the necessary things that's needed before pursuing a wife, like getting having a good career, to be able to provide for his family, where she can stay at home and nurture the children, because I think that this is very important. It wasn't my intentions to take up a lot of time. However, this is a very important subject, and I will later make videos regarding this to be able to help other parents who are dealing with children who suffer from autism. But I want to briefly say this before I allow my son to do a recital. Um, I'm very disappointed in District 189 and some of the parents that allowed their children to come into the school settings to terrify other children, to ridicule them, to bully them, to ostracize them, to isolate them. It's very, very offensive. Not only did it affect my son's behavior, it also affected my mental state because the educators did nothing to prevent my son from having to endure this. And I'm very disappointed, and it is my plan to be able to go into the district to attempt to help the children who are doing the bullying and also the children who are being bullied. So, with that being said, I'm going to allow my son to do this recital. First, we're going to say a silent prayer, and then he will begin with the recital. I ask you for your attention in this matter, and I thank you for taking out the time to review this video. So here's my son. Say a prayer, but don't say it out loud.
Today I will be reciting the Muslim's wants and beliefs. For
Take your time and don't be nervous.
Muslim belief 1. Muslim want. Oh, we need to do it over.
No, just speak louder. We're going to go ahead and keep this. Go ahead.
Muslim want 1. 1. We want freedom. We want a full and complete freedom. 2. We want justice. Equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all regardless of creed or class or color. 3. We want equality of opportunity. We want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. 4. We want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants from slaves to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own, either in this continent or elsewhere. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to provide such land as the area must be fertile and minerally rich. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to maintain and supply our needs in this separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years until we are able to produce and supply our own needs. Since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have ever experienced, we believe our contributions to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America justifies our demand for complete separation and a state or territory of our own. 5. We want freedom for all believers in Islam now held in federal prisons. We want freedom for all black men and women now under death sentence in the New World prisons in the North as well as the South. We want every black man and woman to have the freedom to accept or reject being separated from the slave master's children and establish a land of their own. We know that the above plan for the solution of the black and white conflict is the best and only answer to the problem between two people. 6. We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negro throughout the United States. We believe that the federal government should intercede so that black men and women tried in white courts receive justice in accordance with the laws of the land, or allow us to build a new nation for ourselves, dedicated to justice, freedom, and liberty. 7. As long as we are not allowed to establish a state or territory of our own, we demand not only equal justice under the laws of the United States, but equal employment opportunities now. We do not believe that after 400 years of free or nearly free labor, sweat and blood, which has helped America become rich and powerful, that so many thousands of black people should have access on relief, charity, or live in poor houses. 8. We want the government of the United States to exempt our people from all taxation as long as we are deprived of equal justice under the laws of the land. 9. We want equal education, but separate schools, up to 16 for boys and 18 for girls, on the condition that the girls be sent to women's colleges and universities. We want all black children educated, taught, and trained by their own teachers. Under such schooling system, we believe we will make a better nation of people. The United States government should provide free all necessary textbooks, equipment, schools, and college buildings. The Muslim teachers shall be left free to teach and train their people in the way of righteousness, decency, and self-respect. 10. We believe that intermarriage or rape should be prohibited. We want the religion of Islam to be taught without hindrance or suppression. These are some of the things that we, the Muslims, want for our people in North America. What the Muslims believe. 1. We believe in the one God whose proper name is Allah. 2. We believe in the Holy Quran and the scriptures of all the prophets of God. 3. We believe in the truth of the Bible, but we believe that it has been tampered with and must be reinterpreted so that mankind will not be snared by the falsehoods that have been added to it. 4. We believe in Allah's prophets and in the scriptures they brought to the people. 5. We believe in the resurrection of the dead, not in physical resurrection, but in mental resurrection. We believe that the so-called Negroes are most in need of mental resurrection, therefore they will be resurrected first. Furthermore, we believe we are the people of God's choice, as it has been written, that God will choose the rejected and the despised. We can find no other persons fitting the description in these last days more than the so-called Negroes in America. We believe in the resurrection of the righteous. 6. We believe in the judgment. We believe this first judgment will take place as God revealed in America. 7. We believe this is a time in history for the separation of the so-called Negroes and the so-called white Americans. We believe the black man should be freed in name as well as in fact. By this we mean that he should be freed from the names imposed upon him by his former slave masters, names which identified him as being the slave master's slave. We believe that if we are free indeed, we should go on our own people's names, the black peoples of the earth. 8. We believe in justice for all, whether in God or not. We believe, as others, that we are due equal justice as human beings. We believe in equality, as a nation, of equals. We do not believe that we are equal with our slave masters in the status of freed slaves. Recognize and respect American citizens as independent peoples, and we respect their laws which govern this nation. 9. We believe that the offer of integration is hypocritical and is made by those who are trying to deceive the black peoples into believing that their 400-year-old open enemies of freedom, justice, and equality are all of a sudden their friends. Furthermore, we believe that such deception is intended to prevent black people from realizing that the time in history has arrived for the separation from the whites of this nation. If the white people are truthful about their professed friendship toward the so-called Negro, they can prove it by dividing up America with their slaves. We do not believe that America will ever be able to furnish enough jobs for our own millions of unemployed, in addition to jobs for 20 millions of black people as well. 10. We believe that we who declare ourselves to be righteous Muslims should not participate in wars which take the lives of humans. We do not believe this nation should force it to take part in such wars. We have nothing to gain from it unless America agrees to give us the necessary territory wherein we may have something to fight for. 11. We believe our women should be respected and protected as the women of other nationalities are respected and protected. 12. We believe that Allah, God, appeared in the person of Master W. Farad Muhammad, July 1930, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. We believe further and lastly that Allah is God and besides him there is no God, and he will bring about a universal government of peace wherein we all can live in peace together. That is all.
I would like to thank Allah for EJ reciting the things that the Muslims believe and want. I would like to also thank the Muslims who encourage my son to uh, recite the beliefs and their wants. It was my son's um, endeavor to be a Muslim, and seeing that my son is young and also suffers socially, my son's um, reason for wanting to be a Muslim is because he stated that the Muslims were smart, they were educated, they were knowledgeable. Not in these particular words. He did use the word smart and educated. So um, I thought that that was a shallow reason to want to be a Muslim just because they had knowledge. However, this encouraged me to begin to uh, see things the way my son saw things, because I always allowed him to be a very open, honest, and upfront child, because I was not allowed to uh,
Think for yourself.
not think for myself. We were taught to be respectful, and you didn't call adults liars and things like that. So my voice was silent. So after I had my child, I didn't want my son to have to endure that. So I always gave him the ability to have
An opinion.
right opinion and freedom of speech. So this video is now 16 minutes and 43 seconds, and I don't want to take up a lot of your times, because I know we as Black people, we don't like to read, and and I'm not speaking about all Black people, but a lot of us, including myself, we don't like to do a whole lot of reading and listening to positive things. You know, we spend a lot of time as a whole, you know, into
Rap.
television, yes, CJ, rap and things like that. And so I'm thankful that Allah, Allah uh, led me to take my son out of the school system. And I would like to also say to my son before my listeners that I'm very, very sorry that I neglected the needs that you had due to my own personal issues and selfishness. However, I always persistently, overall, make sure that my son is doing something positive. Uh, Reading, math, he's learning Spanish. He's been doing that for maybe about a year or two. So it will be my goal to go back to District 189 and address what has happened to my son, and also to make sure that my son receive the necessary tools to be able to be successful in life. I don't know if my son recited these things verbatim, but my son do know that I will be listening to this video, and I will be reading the beliefs and wants. And if he have not recited them word for word verbatim, he will be doing another video, because it is my endeavor that he strive to be perfect and to be precise. So I thank you for your time. I thank you uh, and ask that you comment on this video. You know, if you don't look at all of it or whatever, look at some of it, because I know a lot of times we'll begin a video and then we lose interest or whatever, because it's not who we want to see, you know, because we're into this kind of rock star um, I don't know what word I'm looking for, your status in life, you know. If it's not Beyonce, Obama or whoever, then what you say is not really important. And we can miss out on a lot of valuable information when we judge people by their status in society. So I thank you, and I thank Allah, and I ask Allah to forgive me, because even though I began this video by thanking Him first, I want to end it but acknowledge Him first. I thank Him first. I thank my son for being obedient. If you notice, he didn't smile. And that's another issue I'm going to address regarding his socialization, because my son was stripped of a lot of things due to parents who were not raising their children, and the educators not protecting my son while he was in their care. I pray that Allah bring us together, join us together, and that we love each other and respect each other, and not to judge children